Hey guys, so in today's video, I wanted to talk about SEO. It's a question that I get asked an awful lot by cleaning business owners. In the next few minutes, I want to run through, where do you start with your SEO? How do you start with your SEO? SEO is an extremely important part of your marketing mix. And for those of you that don't know what SEO is, it stands for search engine optimization, and it is basically Google looking through its entire database of websites, and when someone types in a certain phrase, for example, cleaning companies in Boston, the results that Google brings up are basically the result of search engine optimization. So the websites that are brought up higher up on page one are those that Google thinks are more relevant for the searcher. And as you can imagine, if your company is at the very top of the first page or high up in page one, then it's going to get a lot of traffic. Some of that traffic will then convert to leads and to clients. So SEO is really, really important. In my own cleaning business, we're in 4 cities. I would say about 50% of our entire website traffic comes from SEO and Google SEO. So really, really super important topic. It is really one of these black box type of things. So people know it's important, but people don't know how to do it, what they need to do. And really, it's super important that, you avoid trying to game the system too much. And if you do and run what's called grey hat SEO or black hat SEO, you run the risk of getting a Google penalty. And, you do not want to get a black mark with Google, because it means that it will really scupper your plans for your website to rank high in the future, and it will make it much more difficult for you to build a big business in the industry. So back to the topic, where do we start with SEO? So the first place to really think about it is really what drives SEO is the keywords. And if someone types in a specific keyword into Google, so keyword and keywords are interchangeable. So cleaning companies in Boston, it would be an example of a type of keyword. So it is in fact a string of words. But if you type in cleaning company in Boston, Google will bring up thousands and thousands of results. We're obviously only bothered about trying to get onto page one for those results. If someone types in house cleaning company Boston or residential cleaners near me, generally the search results will be slightly different. So the first thing to be aware of is the keyword selection. And the first step is really thinking, for your own cleaning business, what are the most important keywords for you? And really, we don't need to overcomplicate this too much. If you're running a house cleaning business, keywords would be house cleaning, it will be residential cleaning, it will be maid service. But also the other grouping of keywords you want to be coming up for is your service plus your location. So whichever large location you cover, whichever your primary location is, whether it's Boston or if you live in in a more rural area of the country, it would be whatever is the main town, the main area that you cover. So the other groups of keywords would be, you will need your house cleaning company, residential cleaners, maid service. You want to be focused on those keywords, but you also want to be being picked up for house cleaning companies in Boston, residential cleaners Boston. And so the location as part of that keyword is also important. And the reason why this is the first step is that if we don't know which keywords we want to go after, it means that we can't measure our efforts. We can't see if we're ranking higher or lower than before. So we need to know what those initial keywords are. So step one is figure out which keywords are important for your business. Step two is then to set up the ranking tracking. So we want to be able to see if when someone types in cleaning companies Boston, where are we ranked in Google? at the beginning, and particularly for the larger, more competitive areas, we won't miraculously appear on page one unless you've been in business for a long time and have lots of great links. Generally, you will be far beyond page one. So let's say you're page 5 or page 6. So your ranking is, say, number 56. So we need to sign up with a software that allows us to see what the rankings are for each of our individual keywords. Because once we know where we are ranked, we can then start testing things. We can then start trying things and seeing if those actions are allowing us to improve our rankings or lower our rankings. And obviously, we want to be constantly iterating to try and increase those rankings over time. So there are lots of different keyword ranking tools out there. Some are free, most of them are paid. A good option to look at is serprobot.com, serprobot.com. Very low cost every month, and you can just upload the keywords that you want to track, and it allows you to see how those rankings are changing, and they send you reports every week and every month. So particularly for there are a lot more sophisticated ranking tools out there. There are a lot more sophisticated SEO software tools out there, but to begin with, this is a good option to look at. So part 1, figure out your keywords. Part 2, sign up with a ranking software company so you can track the rankings of your keywords. So step 3 is then to look at something called OnSite Optimization. So SEO is broadly divided into 2 categories. So the first one is what's called your on-site SEO. And this is things that you can do to your own website, which will allow it to rank it higher. So things like having, if we are a house cleaning company in Boston, if there is lots of content, lots of text on our websites that talks about house cleaning companies in Boston, if there are lots of images where they have titles around house cleaning, if all the titles of our pages talk about house cleaning in Boston, residential cleaning, maid service, these are all examples of something called on-site optimization. And that is really the first point of call. These changes can be done relatively quickly, if you know what you're doing, and it is really the lowest hanging fruit. So if you can optimize your website for on-site SEO, this is really the next big stage. And if we make those changes, then go back to our keyword ranking software, we can see if those changes have made a difference to our rankings. And 9 times out of 10, they will do. So, there's lots of different things we can do to optimize our on-site SEO. There's too many to go through in this video, but examples would be things like the page titles on your website. So every page on your website will have a main title. There will be further subtitles below that, but you need to make sure that whatever your selection of keywords that you're going after, maid service in Boston, maid service in Boston, residential cleaning companies in Boston, you want to try and sprinkle those keywords in your titles for all your pages. So the page titles should be updated to include your service as well as your location. That's a really, really important thing to do. The second thing is also to look at the text on your website. So if you haven't optimized your website for on-site SEO, you'll likely have paragraphs and blocks of text in there that talks about your service. It may even talk about your locations, which areas you service. It could be things like, what types of house cleaning do you do? What types of products do you use? How do you recruit your cleaning staff? You want to make sure that you have enough content, enough text on your website, but you don't want to, it to appear spammy. So you don't want to be copy pasting lots of blocks of text all over your website, and it doesn't really make sense. It's not very fluent to read through. It's a poor user experience. So you want to create lots of content, but make sure that it reads well, and you want to make sure that content has a good amount of these keywords sprinkled across the text, and that will mean that these give further indicators to Google that you are a house cleaning company in Boston. So in that case, we are relevant if someone searches that in Google. So we want to rank our website higher up for that. And that's a whole separate topic around keyword density and things like that. But generally, that's the approach. So optimize your page titles, make sure that there's enough content and text in your website that talks about your keywords. And there are, as I said, there are a whole host of other things that we can do from on page for on-site SEO. Page speed is also really important, but again, I will leave that for another video. So number 3 is getting your on-site SEO optimized. That is the next step. You've selected your keywords, you're tracking the rankings of your keywords. Now we want to try and get your keyword rankings improved, and on-site SEO is really the first point of call for that. Point 4 is then setting up your Google My Business profile. This has come out of Google Maps. So for those of you that don't know, you can create a profile with Google where you can obviously upload photos, you can post regularly on there, and that will appear in the map pack in the middle of the page. But most importantly, this is an area where you can house your Google reviews. And this is something that is super important. After every service that you do, you want to try and get your clients to leave you a Google review. The volume as well as the average ratings are really important. And this is an indicator to Google that you are a relevant business, a high quality business. So not only is the relevance of your website important when we are looking to optimize our SEO, but they want to be, Google wants to be showing those companies that have a high quality service as well. So the ratings, the volume of the ratings, the average ratings are really important. So point 4 is set up a Google My Business profile if you haven't already done so. If you have done, make sure you try and post there fairly regularly. A short post, update post every week is great. But most importantly, you want to be driving, to get more and more ratings and reviews to your profile. So that's point 4. And then point 5 is that, once you have your on-site SEO optimized, once you have your Google My Business profile, set up, and you're getting a consistent stream of ratings and reviews coming on, that's when we get into the real meat of SEO, and this is point 5. So point 5 is your content and backlinking strategy, and this really is when you engage an SEO agency, or if you have an SEO person working for you, this is where they will spend the majority of the time. So it's creating regular content on your website, it's trying to get backlinks from other quality websites back to your website. And, this is a further signal to Google that you are a high quality website. For example, if you get interviewed by the New York Times about your cleaning company through COVID, and the New York Times includes a link back to your website, Google sees this as a really, really high quality vote, effectively, that you are a high quality business. So again, this will improve your SEO rankings. So as I said, the backlink strategy is something that, there's a huge amount of detail. I have done other videos in my channel. I've done another video about backlinking strategy in my channel, so you can go and find that. But for this video, I just wanted to run through really the early stages. How do you set up your SEO? What is the first things to do? So as I said, to cover off, point 1 is identify the keywords that are important for your business. Point 2 is set up with a keyword ranking software, so you can see where you are ranked in Google, and that allows you to track changes that you make with your SEO strategy to see if they're making an improvements or making your rankings worse. Point 3 is then to look at on-site SEO. This is really your low-hanging fruit. This is optimizing your page titles, making sure your images are titled correctly, adding enough content and text copy that includes your important keywords. So point 3 is on-site SEO, and then point 4 is setting up your Google My Business profile if you haven't already done so. And once that is set up, you want to be making sure that you're posting regularly, and that you are trying to get consistent number of ratings and reviews coming up from that. And once those 4 things are done, then you can start to get into the meat of SEO and ultimately the long-term driver of your rankings, which is content creation, and backlink and your backlink strategy. So I hope that's a helpful video for you guys. If you found the content helpful, please like the video and subscribe to my channel to be notified of future videos. But otherwise, have a great day, and I will see you in the next one.